Hello everyone. Sorry this is coming late. I haven't done any video this year. So basically, I just want to talk about the ouster of the Super Eagles from the Chan 2016 championships, and it's ah, I'm still like, as I'm still in denial that Nigeria's like, you know, were lost out in the first round. I can't remember the last time a Nigerian team was actually booted out of a group stage of a tournament in Africa. And unfortunately, because of the high expectations from Nigerians and what happened last year. If you remember, the Golden Eaglets came fourth at the Africa Under 17 Championships, qualified for the World Cup, went to the World Cup, won the World Cup, and the Flying Eagles too went to Senegal, won the Africa on the 20 Championships, beating the hosts, and then went to the World Cup. We were knocked out in the second round. Then um, the under 23s went to Senegal again, won the Africa under 23 championship and qualified for the Olympic Games. Then of course there's the Falconets, and so it's last year was quite good for Nigerian football, but unfortunately we're starting this year on a bad note. I'm still shocked. I mean, I'm sure you can see the look on my face, and so it's something that's been since yesterday when Guinea beat Nigeria 1-0, I've just not been myself. There were a couple of articles I needed to pen down, but I've not been able to do that. I'm a big fan of the Nigerian Professional Football League. I'm a huge fan of the LMC. I'm a big Sunday Olise fan, even though I don't agree with one or two things. But I always try to support whoever is in charge, and but of course, it's our work to talk about these things. I get paid to talk and write about issues related to this, so it's my business anyway. So, basically today I'm just going to talk about a couple of things. Do I really think the players in that went to Rwanda were the best the NPFL could give out? That's a maybe. Great players on the squad. Usman Mohammed, no doubt. Mosquito Okechukwu Benegbu, no doubt. A couple of good Ikechukwu Ezenwa, no doubt. Bature Yaro, no doubt. Um, of course, we can't really talk about Chisom Chikatara. He's already proven himself. So it's a dire thing. There are a couple of players I thought should have made the squad and probably would have made the squad much stronger, but it didn't happen that way. But I felt the players that were in Rwanda were good enough to go far. Maybe not lift the trophy, but go far in the tournament. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. And that brings me back to the case of maybe, just maybe, Olise didn't really know the players that much, because for every game we played, the centre back pairing kept changing. Jamiu Aliu came in for Stephen Eze, then Stephen Eze came in for Jamiu Aliu. Of course, Austin Obora Akpo was had to miss the first game, but it was just we were out of sorts in the center of the park. And again, there was Chima Akas, who's the team captain, who I felt didn't really play to his potential. In fact, if you ask me, I think he was the weakest link in the back four of the Super Eagles. He got beaten time and time again. His timings were poor. You could accuse the left-sided midfield of not coming back to track him, but listen, at this stage, Akas has played for the main squad, the eight team, so I expected him to be able to understand if your midfielder, your left midfielder is not tracking back to help you, then you don't need to make those runs up to the half point of the field. You don't need to make the runs up to the second half of the field. You just stay put. Let him take care of business upfield. You take care of business downfield. You're primarily a defender. He got beaten for pace time and time again, and I kept wondering if he wasn't physically fit, because I've seen him play better. So again, the midfield combination just wasn't right. I mean, Olise, for whatever reason, I would have thought Salisu Yusuf would have been able to tell him these things, but for some reason, he just couldn't get the midfield mix right. Against Guinea, we were really exposed. They took over the midfield. They were bossing it all around. The Eagles didn't really know how to put their foot right in that particular game. And even against Tunisia, for long stretches of the game, for a long period, Tunisia were on top of their game, on top of the Eagles. So it's a mixed bag of sorts for me. I'm happy a couple of players were able to prove themselves, but again, I can never be happy if we can't even get across the line. A lot of people might say it's a reflection of the league, and I'm telling you this: most of the cats who say this hardly watch the league, and those who even watch the league don't watch it well. I can count 11 players off the top of my head who I think probably should have been in the squad one way or the other, but it didn't happen. So let's not talk about that. Let's talk about moving forward now. What have you learned from these championships? What do we learn from this, and how do we put it to help ourselves moving forward? Again, this is what I think. Yeah, if we're going to move forward in this, we can do a template, or we can start a template that was done before when Pepsi was sponsoring the league. We can have maybe during the break, or maybe after 5, 6, or 7 weeks, we get a team. The MPFL 11 play against the MPFL 11 play against those who are leading the league at that particular point in time. It's been done before. It can still be done again. I believe that if we can do this, to bring the homelands together, there's a competition now for the homelands to come together and play, to showcase the individual leagues that we have. So this is a platform they can start with. You can even do like a lottery or a draft that journalists and fans can send in SMSs or whatever for the players that they think merit to be in the first 11. And if they can do that, then we begin to see these players. So I think the LMC and whoever is in charge can do an MPFL 11 every 5, 6, or 7 weeks. Just take a weekend now, get them in one place, let them play who is topping the league. You begin to get to know these players better. And again, this is another important part. Whoever's going to coach the team should be in place and should know the players, should travel to match venues and get to know the players. Olise, with due respect to him, just joined up with the team in South Africa, spent 14, 15 days, and they had to shoot down to Kigali. Again, some of his substitutions, some of the team lineups clearly showed he had little or no understanding of some of the players. Now, this is no excuse. What has happened has happened. I'm just saying, moving forward, we need to look at things or avenues that we can use to make the team better, to make the players understand themselves. Guess what? AS Kaloum, sorry, I beg your pardon. Guinea had 8 AS Kaloum players in their starting lineups. Literally, Nigeria played against AS Kaloum. Only 3 players were from other teams in Guinea. So, I mean, they literally knew themselves, the runs, the placements, and everything. So, Nigerian players also need to have that kind of, I know this person, I know that person, I know what runs is going to make before the ball comes to me, and all of that stuff. I know competitions are not meant to be won all the time. I know it's just for exposure, but the way Amman and Nigeria lost and were bundled out really, really resonated with me. We're leading the group 4 points going into the last group game. Bam, and we're out. So, NFF, LMC, if you get to listen to this or watch this video, these are some of the things I think we should do, because all of us are involved, and you should get to liaise more with journalists and people who cover the league. They can give you a template of players they think can help your team. So, and I believe if we can do that and put our hands together, then the home-based Lions and the home-based Eagles can continue to soar higher and soar better than we think they should. So this is my contribution for now, and I'm going to come back again and talk about the stuff that's happening in the Nigerian Premier League, the Super Eagles preparation for their doubleheader against Egypt, and then we carry it from there. So thanks for listening. My name is Andrew Randa, and at this point I say cheers.